Greetings. This is Matt Faiello, Technical Marketing Engineer with the Cisco Cloud Networking Compute BU, and we're back with another Intersight Managed Mode Expert Series video. Today we're going to talk about the server policy cleanup from an artifact, from a settings perspective. So we've introduced a new capability as of last week in Intersight that when you take the server profile away from a server, you detach. We're going to clean up artifacts on the server, put them back to standard default settings. And also this process will occur on a first time discovery of a server, which also is if you decom the server and you recommission, that's kind of considered a first time discovery. It will clean up those artifacts as well. So this is a great capability we're bringing to Intersight, kind of preventing any kind of problems, keeping things cleaner, more straightforward from a server profile deployment standpoint. And we're going to introduce this over a couple slides here and then show a brief demonstration. For those that attended Cisco Live, I also alluded to this capability in my session at Cisco Live that it was coming, and it is indeed here available today. Okay, so the real goal here is to clean up policy configurations on the server when that uh, server profile is taken away. So now there's positive steps taken, proactive steps in the workflow that when you detach a server profile, it's going to go out there and clean up artifacts on the server or reset them back to a baseline defaults, which is in the documentation. If you have an existing profile and you detach a policy, and then so you made change, okay, and you did not redeploy immediately that server profile, then you're going to see an inconsistency status, okay, on that server there. So the cleanup will occur when you redeploy the server profile the next time. And in totality, right now in phase one, there's some 16 policies that will be cleaned up, but there are several that we're not going to touch. Certainly not going to touch a storage policy or a drive security policy. And as far as firmware policies, there's really nothing to clean up there. There's nothing to worry about from an artifact perspective. So this slide here is just a screen snap right out of the documentation. So it delineates the 16 policies here that will be cleaned up when you detach a server profile from the server. And then at the bottom there, these 4 policies here, we are absolutely not going to touch those policies whatsoever. There's no either a no need to or no desire to because of existing storage or security configurations on the server. So we're not going to actually touch those. Okay, so the second part of this feature, as mentioned, is a policy cleanup during first time discovery. So it's obviously first time discovery of the server. That cleanup will not occur on subsequent rediscoveries. Okay. But also in a scenario where you're decomming the server. And then if you decide to recom that server, bring it right back in, that's considered a first time discovery. So the cleanup will in fact occur. Also, obviously, if you swap out the decom server with an RMA server, that's kind of one of the main gists of this feature is you bring in an RMA server, first time discovery, then it's going to do the policy cleanup and make sure the settings on those servers are in fact default. And just to reinforce, and again, we're not touching a storage configuration on that server, so don't confuse this capability with the future coming Scrubs policy support, which would handle your hard drives and basically prepare those to go away, right? And you want to scrub anything off the sectors and on the server disk, so you don't run into any problems with installing operating systems of various flavors, and also prepare the server to go away if in fact you're RMA in the server. Okay, so let's move on here with a short demonstration, and I am in Intersight Infrastructure Service, and I happen to be looking at one of my servers here, one of my X series blades. But first things first, if you went to what's new, okay, you can see that we added the ability to revert to default settings for certain policy configurations when a server's unassigned. Okay, so you can click right here and go right to it. But where would you find that from just help? Okay, so what you want to do is go over here to infrastructure service. Okay, go to servers, and we're talking about configuring servers. Okay, and there's the default server policy configuration. So there's those 16 policies plus the 4 that we're not touching, and that was in the slide. But that's where you can find it here in Intersight help. So let's go back. And again, we have this server and server profile. So let's go ahead and go down here to our profiles. And I have this first profile here, and I'm going to detach or unassign the server. Okay. And uh, don't know if you've noticed this, but we've updated the messaging as well here in recent times. Basically, letting you know kind of the obvious, but if it's not so obvious, it's good. Letting you know that it's disruptive, right? So an IMM server, a server that is being configured through fabric interconnects, be it B series, be it X series, be it if I manage C series through either an external FEX or directly cabled to the FI, those servers can't persist without a server profile. So it would be a disruptive operation. Again, 99% of you already know that, but just in case you're new to UCS and you're new to Intersight, um, the IMM servers, Fabric Interconnect servers, okay, cannot persist without a server profile. I'll compare and contrast that to standalone C series, which can persist, okay, through CIMC. They can persist without a server profile. So just a small nuance there, and make sure you understand that. So you gotta agree to this, and we're going to go ahead and unassign the server. And let's go ahead and look at that workflow. As you can see a lot of undeploy and remove comments here in the workflow. Okay, so that workflow is completed. We can go back to that server. We can go to our inventory, go to network adapters. We can see that we have just the DCE interfaces on the adapter, which are up, but we'd have no logical policy configuration, no virtual NICs, virtual HBAs on those interfaces. So that's all good. Okay, and again, this feature is not something that is going to maybe stand out to you. Okay, but this is one of those we're making it better type features. Okay, by hopefully preventing any customer from getting into a bad situation with um, kind of uh, hanging artifacts out there, configurations out there on the server when they're trying to do like future operations. So hopefully this was enlightening to you, brought attention to this, and that completes our demonstration. That completes our video today about IMM server policy cleanup with server profile, undeploy, and also first-time discovery. I hope you were able to learn a few things, and stay tuned for more future Intersight Managed Mode Expert Series videos. Thanks for hanging out with me.